How's it going, my social media friends and family? I want to cordially invite everybody this Thursday, July 11th, to Whiskey Barrel in McAllen, Texas. I will be filming for the first time live, hashtag PVT Professional Valley Talk. Sergio Garcia Films will be filming it, and we will have a long list of guests, beginning with Chris Perez, comedian Raymond Horta, superstar Mario Salazar, Stevie Ray Vaughan's nephew, Jimmy Vaughan's son, and blues guitarist Tyrone Vaughn. Straight Outta Mission rapper Big Reenie. The Venomous Brothers, with Jax Venomous celebrating his birthday that night. Thursday night, July 11th, free admission for everybody. Whiskey Barrel, hashtag PVT Papa. How long was that lull between, all that legal stuff going on?
I was over, wow.
Like a year, 2 years?
It had to be a year, because I did 1988 with Erendira, and in 89 we wound up signing with Freddie.
Yeah,
but it was a year.
But so what happened with that lawsuit? I mean, did they?
Well, apparently we won.
Okay, and they let you go.
They said they didn't want to argue no more. They knew we were broke too. We'll be going about Beverly Hills, California, and they're like, well,
mutual.
I think Johnny was kind of telling him, look, what are you fighting this band for when you have so many artists here?
Well, they think that too, and their attorneys tell them the same, and they just say, just let them go. You went to Freddie Records, man. Those guys know all the business of this type of music, right?
We heard about Freddie Records. I didn't know that they were already listening to what we were doing. We were making a lot of noise.
Freddie Jr., man, he's one of those guys that, I've met him, I've known him, and a nice guy, and very, very strong with the music industry and that part of, especially during the 90s.
He had his ideas, but his ideas sometimes were not what our ideas were. Our ideas were like out of the box, like way beyond, And he had this structure because of the way his dad was. Mm-hmm. His dad had a band, so he was more, like straight or more, trying to structure the music.
When you did Un Complejo, was that Freddie?
Yeah.
And that album was like,
that's playing with fire. When we did that first album where we were in a carnival, that's really in corporate.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, with the British Knights. Yeah,
I found a pair.
That's an amazing.
I found a pair
picture,
today.
I
have some now. I'm gonna put those on in one day.
So then you guys recorded. That was like the last album you did with those guys, right?
No. Well, then you know what we did when we finally sat down and we did a little negotiation with Henry. But see, Henry was not a manager to say he could negotiate a contract. Now, this kind of contract with record labels about royalties, about mechanical rights.
That's a whole
he
other
didn't know none of that stuff. So here I am signing a contract, going blindfolded in there, and Freddie knew what he was doing. He knew what he was getting. Well, heck, man, he's gonna get us for whatever he can.
The publishing and all that stuff, the music.
He's gonna tell us all these things. So we went in the studio to record. We did this potpourri. We said, let's try it. Back then there were albums. One side,
and then the one side was a whole potpourri.
Exactly.
And it was like they played on the radio. I played it on the radio, bro. The whole
thing. The DJ said, "Man, you gave us a break, man. We can go outside. Because
they'd ask,
have a taco, cigarette,
go to the restroom. Chinga, tengo que ir al baño. Tengo que ir a la casa y ir a parar unos vídeos. Deja poner la rola de Jaime.
Exactly, right?
Potpourri.
No te vayas así. Dame un poco de ti. Te lo estoy suplicando.
So then what happened at the Juan P. Moreno? I mean, you guys were in with Freddie.
We did 4 albums. We did 4 albums with Freddie within that time, and we were climbing a little bit more here, and we were playing more and out of state, and because of Johnny Tuke and all this, our name was growing, popularity was getting a lot bigger, and money was making, but was it being spent right? I don't know. It was because I wasn't in charge of the bank accounts and stuff like that. I just knew to play, and he would and I was learning computers. Which I was advancing from Henry because he wasn't keeping up with the times. So now I'm reading at home a lot of programs about DOS, about computers and stuff, and learning how to, how to. That's when internet fax, they started coming in, the dial tones and stuff like that. I would be the one to learn, and before you know it, he's, always been the tutor and the guider. So as I'm learning and he's seeing, and I guess we're all in a fantasy land party and not paying attention and money spending, and everybody's like, "What's going on?" And when everything is always what about money. Mm-hmm. What's happening?
Yeah.
Or who wants more? Yeah. Or who thinks you're not paying them right? Or you think you're stealing from them?
Yeah.
You know, everybody, and not only musicians, every company.
Yeah.
Any company.
But it's prevalent in the music industry.
It's known for that because it's nobody never being really.
So that obviously was what happened with Juanpi and your brother and
well, I want to say part of it is money situation because they always wanted more.
What did Juanpi tell you? Like, did he say, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna get the hell out"? Yeah, or.
Well, he did say he wanted a lot more money because he dealt with Henry. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I'll tell you one thing, Juan, you're not going to make more than me. Mm-hmm. Because if you are, then there's something wrong here.
Yeah.
Even though we're a team, yes, but if you're going to make more, we need to make the same.
Pues sí, pues tú eres Jaime de Anda,
the
face,
I want them
the
to
voice,
realize,
the accordion.
Well, I want them to realize that I didn't know I was going to be somebody or how far I was going to go with my music, but I do know that I created a lot of people. I gave a lot of people an opportunity.
Well, I would dare say that the record label was signing the Chamacos because of, you know what I mean? Bring them in.
Right.
You've always been considered the leader of the band, so obviously the leader.
And that's exactly what Freddie and Freddie Jr. said.
Manuel got out before Juanpi or after?
It was Juanpi first.
Wow.
Because now Juanpi was listening to a lot of David Lee stuff.
Yeah.
So he started telling me, hey, come on, Jaime, we already did this so long. Now he had different ideas.
Yeah.
We need to be progressive.
Pues le metía el saxofón a la música. Yeah, I
we need to add sax.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not. So now we have our differences.
Yeah.
And, you know.
And when he made his own album, his own personal recording, he had the sax in there.
Exactly. Well, when he came out of my band, I heard the next day that he was playing with David Lee Bajo Saxophone.
Yeah.
He recorded with him.
Yeah.
And Jay Perez was
with
David Lee.
He was with him. That's
and
right.
he got his dream to come true, what he wanted to do.
Manuel se salió, ya no
he
tocó.
stayed with me. Another album he did with Johnny Lee. We found Johnny Lee because we were playing around the Alice area. He was from Manguete.
Yeah.
You know, and he had special talent that we didn't know because he was just in his own little world all the time and hanging out with us. And I guess he went to a couple of our shows. And I was trying to remember exactly where I met him and asked him.
Well, you know, what's interesting is the quiet one in all this is Edward, man.
All this time.
Yeah, Edward was there, bro.
But he was an instigator, though. He would start a lot of arguments in the back. While I was always driving. I drove everywhere. I drove the trailways. I drove the vans. I always drove.
Maybe that's how they kept each other awake, man. Because you didn't have cell phones back then to be on Facebook all day long, bro. You needed to start a little fucking argument, man.
And they were good. And I thought back then, that they were arguing or picking on Johnny Lee at the time because he was very creative. Because I thought Juan and Manny were talking that. I thought Juan was telling Manny to pick on Johnny Lee, where they have to call me back, you know. And we talk nowadays, and that's another story. So we get to talk about the history of what we did back then, and ask questions. Did this really happen? Did you do this? And we talk now. But
then those guys got out, and then you brought in.
Well, that's when we had a what do you call it? We had
and Henry. What happened to Henry? Dude?
Henry was still there.
Yeah, right? But like, what's he doing now? Or have you ever spoken again after he got out? Or did you fire him? Or did he quit? What happened with that?
I fired him. I really did fire him because by then I got married, and by then I had my kids, and then we're all living in the same house, me, my wife, and my kids, and my brother, because that's the way we could afford to get a land and a trailer, a double wide trailer. This and that, we were together.
And you had the dog Buddy too, right?
He was almost in the picture. He almost came into the picture. He came into the picture accidentally because after a while that I got a divorce, I wanted a pet. Or before I got married. One of the two.
Yeah, because that dog you had, Buddy, was a very popular mascot for your show.
He became popular on his own. He was smart.
Yeah, he was smart. And
he came out in McAllen.
But I had heard a rumor that he belonged to Henry, dude.
Well, you see, that's where, when we started having our differences, me and my brother, Henry, so because of, now it's because, this is one thing